What's going on, everybody? So, if you are not new to my channel, then you already know that I'm usually doing Diablo 2 reimagined content. But there is another mod for Diablo that I like to play. It is called Median XL. So I figured, in the interest of trying to get more people into Median XL, that I was going to start making a series of videos where I just go over the rune words for Median XL. These will be different from the Runewords Reimagined series that I'm doing, because as opposed to doing just one rune word at a time, I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to do groups of rune words so that people can have easy access to whatever individual item group they are looking for, and so that they can easily get in there and find which rune words they're going to want to use. Or if you're just interested in Median XL and want to know more about it, then you can also watch this as well as an informative video to help you decide if you actually want to play Median XL or not. So before we get into this, let me pull something up here. Here we go. So this is the website. All of this can be found on the website. But I do know there are people out there who simply do not want to go and read, and they would rather have this stuff told to them. I know for a while I myself was like that when I was younger. Not anymore. I prefer to be able to go out there and read this stuff myself and kind of play around with things. But I do also realize that some people don't have time for that. Or maybe you just like this kind of content playing in your ear while you're out there working, or you're out there running or jogging or something like that. So if you're just looking for some videos where you can listen to somebody talk about a game that you like while you do something else, maybe this will actually help fill that void of content and you can actually have something else to listen to now. So this first group we're going to be talking about is the weapons category. These are rune words that you can put onto any weapon in Diablo 2 Median XL. Also, important to know that as opposed to original Diablo 2, with Median XL, you don't have to have the exact number of runes to put into an item to create a rune word. What I mean by that is, say that you have an armor piece, or for this example, we'll use the weapons. Say you have a weapon that has 3 sockets. You want to make this rune word right here called shark. All you need for that is an eld rune, but there's 3 sockets. If you take a jewel and put 2 jewels in, and then put the eld in, you will actually be able to make that rune word on top of what the jewels are that you've already put in there as well. And this is a very good way for you to add additional affixes to an item. I'll be 100% with you though, it gets crazy sometimes, because once you get up there into the higher levels of the game, you're going to end up having items that have like 6 sockets in it, and maybe you want to make one rune word that's like 3 runes, and you end up with these huge expanded lists of affixes on an item. But the thing to know about that, and the thing to remember about that, is in Median XL, there is plenty of more content to do as opposed to original Diablo 2. And what I'm trying to tell you with that is they've literally made new areas, new bosses, new pretty much everything you can think of. I mean, you can go to the high heavens, you can go to the sunless sea, you can go to Karast from 3000 BA. There's many places that you can go which have been additionally made and expanded upon in Median XL, which is part of the reason why I like it. Well, with that being said, let's just go ahead. We'll get these ones done for this video. And the first rune word is going to be shark. And the rune you need to make this is an eld rune. It gives you 5% chance to cast level 9 Bloodlust on kill. It gives you 7 to 9% bonus damage to Bloodlust. So not only is it going to give you a chance to cast Bloodlust, but it's also going to give you additional damage to Bloodlust as well when you put this in something. Now, you cannot put this in a Necromancer Dagger, as you can see right here, and you also cannot put it in an Assassin Claw. So just be aware that if you're trying to make Shark, you cannot put this in Assassin's Claws or a Necromancer Dagger. Don't even give it a shot. You get 20% attack speed, and at the level that you will be making this rune word, that's a lot. That really is. And what's crazy about that is in Median XL, you're already hitting way faster than you normally would. So for you to be able to hit even faster, which is also faster, you see, than you would in regular Diablo 2. Now you're just going crazy amounts of speed. One thing I would say about Median XL is if you're a purist with Diablo 2 and you don't want to have any kind of power fantasy in your game, then you probably are not going to like Median XL. But the thing is the reason why most of these words, these rune words, are so overpowered is because the final end game is something that is known as the dimensional labyrinth. And one and by the time you get there, if you don't have absurd amounts of skills, affixes, damage, health, mana, then you're going to get absolutely destroyed, which is part of the reason why these things seem so overpowered. Well, let's continue. We get +5 to maximum damage for this. You get 0.125 to maximum damage, which is based on character level. You also get 1.5% bonus to attack rating. You get 24 to 35% enhanced damage. And because this is such an overpowered rune word for this low of a level, you also get -1 to your mana. So it basically is going to drop your mana down by 1. And that's not just 1 in total. It will slowly go down by 1. So you really need to watch your mana there. Because if you don't have a lot of mana, then you're going to be losing mana substantially faster. And you're going to be losing mana very, very quickly. Up next, we're going to talk about Void. For this one, you need a Sur rune. I know that sounds like it's really expensive, but in Median XL, these runes drop very, very quickly. It's not as low of a drop rate as you would have in regular Diablo, so you don't really need to be worried about that. And we'll get there when we get to the last rune word for that we're going to talk about today, but there's a reason for that. So it's gonna give you 7 to 13 damage. It's going to add that on top of whatever damage you're already doing in that weapon. It gives you 58 to 72% enhanced damage. It slows the target by 20%. It gives you regenerate mana plus 15%, which is always cool. It gives you cold resist plus 40%. Resistances are huge in Median XL. You always want things that are going to add resistance to you because you have to not only get those capped, but by the time you get to Dimensional Labyrinth, if you have not broken the cap for your resistances and brought that up higher, then even max resistance in the Dimensional Labyrinth will still get you killed very easily. So that's something that's very important in Median XL. Where was I? It gives you physical damage reduced by 11 to 15. That's not percent. That's just straight up 11 or 15 points. It gives you +3 to 5 to mana on striking, and a 2% chance to reanimate as random monster. I saw someone in the Discord for Diablo 2 Reimagined asking about that the other day. 2% reanimate as random monster simply means that there's a 2% chance that a monster that you kill will come back to life and fight by your side as a random monster. If you're watching this, I hope you already know that. Sorry about my little Pizza Hut thing over there. But if you're watching this, I'm hoping that you already know that, and that I cannot fathom why somebody who doesn't know that would be watching this video to begin with. So I'm just throwing it out there and letting everybody know that. All right, next up is going to be Johanna, and what this is it's going to be a Cam rune, an Ohm rune, and a Low rune. And once again, understand that getting these higher runes are going to be much easier because in this version of Diablo 2, those are actually low runes. And we'll talk about that in just a second. So it's going to give you 20% chance to cast level 32 Frozen Crown on melee attack. Gives you 15% block speed, 15% hit recovery, adds 94 to 125 cold damage, adds 150 to 200 poison damage over 1 second, gives you 144 to 171% enhanced damage. And here's the part that I like. I actually commonly use this one on my assassin because it also is going to give you 25% cold spell damage. It's going to give you -25% enemy cold resistances. It's going to give you +25% to poison spell damage and -25% to enemy poison resistance. When I play as an assassin in Median XL, I prefer to use an ability called Bat Strike. What Bat Strike is because they've reworked the entire skill tree in Median XL. It is much different than it is in just regular Diablo 2. This ability, Bat Strike, what it does is I hit somebody and it sends out a constant barrage of bats that just kind of fly in and hit the enemy over and over and over and over and over again. And once you get that up, leveled up to max, it is actually one of the quickest ways to clear things out, in my opinion, as an assassin in Median XL. I like to play that version of an assassin a little differently than most do. I play what's known as the flashy hybrid assassin, and what that does is it adds lightning damage and fire damage to your claws. But I personally, instead of doing fire damage, I take Way of the Spider, which adds poison damage to my claws. The reason being is in Median XL, the poison damage can actually stack very, very high. And when it does, you can take out monsters pretty quickly. The reason for that being is this damage goes way faster than the regular version of Diablo 2. So when you have something that's going to give enemy poison resistance, then you're going to be able to quickly eliminate the enemies and the targets even faster. Not only that, but for some reason the damage scaling goes up much faster than in regular Diablo 2. So after that, we're also getting max life of plus 5%, maximum mana of 23 to 28%, which is the other reason why I like to use this, and also requirements are negative 33%. In Median, you have these orbs that you can attach to your weapons as well. So you want this negative 33% requirements because it'll allow you to put more orbs onto that weapon and add even more damage on top of what you already have. So me personally, I will usually take this Runeword and then I will turn around and start adding lightning damage to it as well. Or maybe just fire damage if I really feel like doing it, but most of the time it's lightning damage. And now we're going to get to the last word in terms of the weapons category. And again, that just means that these are rune words that you can put on any weapon. The name of this one is Dawn, and you need a Zol rune. And you might be wondering, what the hell is a Zol rune? So now we are getting to the part I was talking about with the higher runes. The reason I can say Cham, Ohm, and Low are actually lower runes in this version of the game is in Median have what's known as enhanced runes. And enhanced runes are basically a whole class above regular runes. You see how it's yellow here? So imagine if instead of just 33 runes like you had in Diablo 2, you had 66 runes and more, but we'll get to that in a different video. That's how it is now. In Median, you have 66 runes. So once you get to the Zol rune, that is the 66th rune, not the 33rd, and is far more powerful than a normal Zod rune, which is how you can create rune words with this one rune. And let's look at what this gives us. So Dawn, with the Zol rune, is going to give us 10% chance to cast level 32 Clarity on kill. You get a 45% hit recovery. You get 301 to 500% bonus to attack rating. You get 172 to 200% enhanced damage. You get 75% to strength, 75% to dex, 35% vitality. You get 75% to energy. You get 80 to mana, 60% to gold find. You also get 2 to 4 to light radius. So this is a very, very good weapon. I mean, 75% to strength and 75% to dexterity. All of these, right, are just insane. And now you can probably see why when I look at the rune words in Diablo 2 Reimagined, and now you can probably see why when I look at the rune words in Diablo 2 Reimagined, the new ones that we have, I might not necessarily seem all that impressed, and it is because I play a lot of Median XL. I think that will be all for this one. I will go down and do the rest of these categories too, but obviously I'm not going to do them all in this one video. But if this is something that you're interested in trying, I would highly recommend giving it a shot. If you're tired of Reimagined or if you're tired of Project Diablo 2, then you might want to give this one a shot. So if you're watching this still, thank you for bearing with me, and I will see you guys next time.